A Prophet Ron Dwayne Whitfield recording today in the United States on Wednesday, 11 December 2019. Heading to be treated for this cough, could be the flu. I would like to address all the senators of the United States and all the people of the world. All the people of the world. The members of Congress are all supposed to be lawyers. I listened to Speaker of the House, Madam Speaker Nancy Pelosi. In my view, with all due respect, sound very foolish and stupid. I can do that because I'm not. There's no such offense or crime known in the United States as obstruction of Congress, and there's no such crime known in the United States under federal law as abuse of power. And these are the two indictments, they call them articles of impeachment, that they are supposedly are in the process of drafting to have a vote on, to give Congress the power and its members or her members the authority to present to a jury, the Senate, a case to remove the President of the United States. Now I see why God had me to go into prison to learn law, and I'm great. I'm so goddamn great, and I'm rusty. I haven't really had occasion to do what I know, to practice it. Now, people, like in a criminal episode or a criminal case, the filing of a complaint, if it's supported by a probable cause affidavit, gives the court, which is sitting as a magistrate court at the present time, jurisdiction over the parties, such as the person. And say, for example, in Harris County, it would be the Harris County District Attorney's Office, and notice I'm not saying the state of Texas, and the so-called defendant, which in my case, if it were a criminal episode case, would be the Ronald Dwayne Whitfield, the parties. That does not have anything to do with the subject matter, the court subject matter jurisdiction. The filing of an indictment or presentment of an indictment would give a court jurisdiction, subject matter, over the subject in dispute, such as burglary of a building, if and when or unless Congress lays out in an indictment or an article of impeachment facts of a crime known under the United States Code, Section 18, Title 18, United States Code, defining crimes, then they're wasting our time. So what President Trump's attorney will likely do is file a motion to dismiss with the Chief Justice of the United States, who will preside over a Senate trial, saying that on the grounds that the articles of impeachment or indictment do not state a crime as defined by federal law, and therefore the Congress has no jurisdiction to hear the matter in a trial with the Senate sitting as jurors. So I'm over here at Monroe Clinic. Just want to put it out there that I'm getting to this flu and abscess removed, checked out, dealt with today. Okay, so back to what I was saying. Now, if you Google it, as I have, I already knew it was no such thing. When I Google when I Google abuse of power, the only thing comes up, well, two things come up. One, Title 18 USC Section 242, and the Congress is not a person, and so that law, they can't use that law as a basis to support their made-up crime called abuse of power. In Texas, we do have such a crime known as abuse of power, but the United States government does not have such a crime. So in order for the president to the Sixth Amendment of the United States Constitution provides that in all criminal prosecution, so now the United States Constitution has gotten involved. Now when Congress, that's gonna be involved. The Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment, the Seventh Amendment, the Eighth Amendment, the Ninth Amendment, and the 14th Amendment. But, well, not in President Trump's case, because that applies to the states. So the 14th Amendment will not be applicable, but you can best believe they're gonna President Trump's attorneys are gonna be invoking the rights God gave President Trump under the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment, the Fifth Amendment, the Sixth Amendment, the Seventh Amendment, which deals with civil trials. And since they say this is political, then the Seventh Amendment will be applicable because it relates to civil matters. But it won't be so. Well, the rules will be applicable. The Eighth Amendment, this is what we call cruel and unusual punishment against the President of the United States when they bring in everything so the whole world can see they just doggone fools, because this is great. And then President Trump can have his military sitting there too in case George Soros and everybody else and then bribe the senators to vote him guilty notwithstanding, so the military will shut all that down. But it's a good way to get it out to the world what's really going on. So I said the Eighth Amendment, the Ninth Amendment is applicable, and the 10th Amendment is applicable because the rights not delegated to the United States Constitution and not prohibited by the states. I can't, I don't remember that, but it deals with the powers of the people, the government, the states, and then the people, because the powers not delegated to the United States and to the state of Texas or other states are reserved to the people respectively. So the framers put that clause in. So those are the provisions that God gave the President of the United States. And so based on this here, it's impossible, very much impossible, for them to impeach him. So the basis or the reasoning behind all this, if there's no bribery of the senators to vote notwithstanding him, to remove him, which, like I say, the President of the United States and the military, they probably already got a plan in place. But sometimes you play stupid to see what's going on. For example, I was at a parole matter in 2018, and I had a letter to exonerate me, and this parole attorney was like, Mr. Whitfield, no, we're not going to introduce that. We're going to hold on to that. This way, we're going to play finge ignorance and see what we can get everybody. And I'm that goddamn, yeah. So she was, you had a letter to exonerate that I had not violated conditions of parole. But so I'm sure, because I know God, I know that there's a strategy behind what the president is doing as a safety backup in case the senators come, they pull some kind of stunt after they get it through a trial and then they all vote guilty or enough to get removed, because people are so dirty, and then we American people will just get over it. No. President Trump, I know he has his military. You're not going to pull that kind of coup d'état on President Trump. He's too smart for that. He's got the military. Then he's got his own Secret Service security. Then he got the Secret Service. And they gonna support the President of the United States until his term expires, until his removal is official. And so that means the Secret Service and the military will join forces together. That's just how that works. I'm just not getting into in detail with it, because my mind works that way. But that's just thinking absurd, because what they doing So there could be another basis for doing this, like I've always said, just to try to defeat him in the elections. No, because why would you do this when you know it's not gonna go anywhere in the Senate? Why would you do this? So you have to ask that question. They know that the Republicans, they're in lockstep with each other because they saw what you did, the Democrats, and they wouldn't want that to happen to themselves or to any member of their family or to their constituents. So if there's no stunts being pulled here, why would they vote to remove this man when you already know the Congress, the Miss Pelosi and all these members of Congress know that they're gonna, like they did Clinton, they're not gonna vote to remove him. So again, why would Congress, why would they do that? It's got to be, they're not that stupid. They're stupid, but they got an evil motive behind it. So why would they do that? Like even in Texas, our Supreme Court of Texas and our Court of Criminal Appeals say that, for example, they do not, these two courts require a lower court to do a useless act. Why would Congress devote all this time and energy into something useless that's not going anywhere? It really is. So you would think, well, okay, we can't. I mean, they control the Senate. They not, Trump got us. I mean, he's not gonna, okay, let's move on. Let's step out of this here. So again, so the only thing I guess I can think of is that they are hoping that this will change the American people's attitude toward Mr. Trump, and that's how they would defeat him at the poll. But that's stupid. They know this man appeals to the people. He's great. He's like me, a Gemini. God has chosen Geminis, of course. Former President Abraham Lincoln was not a Gemini that I know. Yeah, he was not. We only have had 3 Gemini presidents: Kennedy, Bush Sr., and Trump. Okay, now back on point. Even when it talks about Title 18 United States Code, obstruction of when it comes to Congress, they're talking such as the committees. In order for Congress to be able to assert and rely on this law, Congress has to keep in mind. I mean, you will understand. Let me just put you. I hope you all get it. Somebody can break it down what I'm trying, because I ain't gonna try to think and explain it to you all in such a way that you can get it. Just hopefully you know what I'm saying without me doing that, whatever it is. But Congress has to. The President of the United States has what they call executive privileges. So if Congress is asking the President to provide it documents so they can investigate him, they first have to be able to show that the documents that they are asking for are some documents that he cannot not disclose to them. That he has to be able to, that they have to show that these are not privileged. You have to give us those. That has to come out. So I'm not seeing anyone coming on television saying we're asking them for this, we're moving for that and this and this, which under article whatever of the United States Constitution, he cannot not give this to us. I have not heard that. Maybe you have. And therefore he's obstructing the investigations in our committees. So you can build your case before the people, and you cite because he has not complied or discharged his duty under the United States Constitution. He's violating his oath of office. He's in violation of Title 18, United States Code Section 242, which is captioned deprivation of rights. Title 18, United States Code Section 241, entitled conspiracy. So when you cite the title, the American people and the world can go and see for themselves whether or not you are telling them the truth. You're providing accurate information. You got to know that President Trump has already got the world knowing that you all lie and that there's a fake media. So when now they come with, they just think you all so doggone crazy, but they have to now, in other words, Trump has put y'all on trial. So now you don't have that, like the judiciary supposedly have this this presumption of being righteous, but we, the American people, individually know that that's not the case. They should know it on worldwide, because how is it that if these laws are our laws, are, if there's justice, then so many people wouldn't be incarcerated. These laws would be, it would be a struggle to, whether it be in state court or federal court, to convict a person, because these laws are designed to protect people. And so as we go forward, criminals will get smarter, so that it wouldn't be so easy for the government or the states to convict people. So it must be it must be a corrupt system, because you couldn't possibly, with all these protections, otherwise we would have to look at our laws and say that these are sham laws, because whether we like it or not so many people, it's supposed to be hard on the government to prove their cases. But that's why you see William Barr and United States Attorney of Connecticut, John Durham, however you pronounce his name, they're taking their time. They're not in a rush to make sure that they have a solid case, so there can be no room for them to have their, if there be any convictions, overturned, that they have sufficient evidence to convict. And I'm sure that they're gonna move or change a venue or to another state because of what they say about what's going on in Washington, D.C. So all such as if they go after whatever persons they go after or going after, that they know they cannot have the trial in Washington, D.C. Now, back on point. You have to set out the government, rather the prosecutors, the House of Representatives, those that are going to act as a prosecutor, they have to lay out, and they should have been laying out for us today, but they can't. They're making up crimes, but they have to lay out. Here you have the choice. Here's the law, the Constitution. Here are the statute, criminal statute. Here are the facts. Here are the facts, undisputed. The facts cannot be in dispute. And then they have to take the law and apply the laws to the flag. You have to do this for the members of the Senate. They sitting up there, look. You just can't get up there and run your mouth. See, the White House counsels and the president's personal, not finna let them come up here and just talk. You have to show the Constitution what it reads on a chart. You're going to have to show what the criminal statutes that you are lying on. And then when you talk about obstruction of Congress, they're going to laugh at you because they're, well, what we mean? No, you are professional. You have to cite what the law is. So if you mean obstruction of justice, you need to be saying obstruction of justice in violation of Title 18, United States Code, Section 15, or whatever that section is. And if abuse of power, you need to be able to let the world know where in the code, the federal code, criminal laws, because there's no such crime known as abuse of power. Once you come, and now in the Senate, you can best believe, people, if that's where it's going, they can't come in there. They're not gonna come back because these are lawyers. Let me come. These gonna be lawyers. You can't come to them people. Come on now, you stupid. They gonna have Rudy, if he be there, and all these White House, they're gonna have these people. It's gonna be laughable. Everybody gonna be laughing at these people. They can't come in there talking about obstruction of Congress. There is no such offense or crime. So they're gonna have to state. Then they're gonna have to state. They're gonna have to be able to show everything that I've said so far. They're gonna have to be able to show he could not do this. And if they're talking about the quid pro quo, they gonna have to prove all that and they're gonna have to use the standards. They can't make up a standard of evidence, like we say, beyond a reasonable doubt. A person cannot be convicted except upon a reasonable doubt. What the hell does that beyond? Beyond. That's what, now we're talking about prepositions. Trump walked to the pond. Trump walked in the pond, beyond the pond, above the pond, below the pond. Beyond a doubt. Mr. Trump, I don't know what kind of instructions that the senators will be given, but in our criminal jurisprudence, courts cannot tell a jury what they shall and will not do when it relates to the facts. So you take the word will and shall out and put in the word may. Now, when it comes to a question of fact, the senators are the sole judges. Their authority is equal to that of the judge. They are just as much as part of the officers of the court, or in this case, officers of Congress, as any other member, the jury. So I'm staying on point still. Because I don't see a case. I guess I'm just trying to make it very clear that from what I'm hearing, I don't know, I can't, but I just have a general knowledge of what they're doing. And just after yesterday, after hearing that, I'm like, really? So I'm either thinking that I'm doing this because because they can't be that stupid. I guess I'm thinking that the senators must have been bribed. Somebody must have bribed the senators to vote him guilty. Because based upon what Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi has said that he's been impeached for, that they're going to draw up articles of impeachment and vote on it. And I'm laughing. I'm thinking these people are crazy. Trump can't be. They can't be that damn stupid. How the hell you go? First of all, Trump, the law is going to say, well, objection. This court does not have jurisdiction over the crime of abuse of power. There's no such crime. Oh, what we mean is, well, then you can't deprive the president of the United States of his rights to confront. They're going to use the Sixth Amendment as the basis for their argument. I think it says in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to this, a speedy trial, and shall have the right to compel this and to do that. Those are God-given rights, and they will be applicable in a Senate trial. And they got to know this. So when that's stupid. I couldn't see them, because now we get to pull in Adam Schiff. We get to redo everything. We're gonna find out everything they did in the House. Trump can use this Senate trial. Y'all just don't know what Trump can use this Senate trial to do because of the Sixth Amendment. He get to confront the whistleblower, everybody. He get everything now. He get to call in the Russian president and not Russian president, the Ukraine. You got to know what the Sixth Amendment says, and this is not gonna go. They better listen. If you see this video, you be wise to stop it now. Chief Justice, he can't do anything about it. That's the Sixth Amendment. Because soon as this is the president of the United States, you got 63 million people voting for this man. This man, people ain't finna let you all. Now you actually talking about there's gonna be a consequence behind. See, what they doing in the House is not a consequence. It's a process they're going through. Now what might take place here in the Senate, this would affect Trump's God-given right. So therefore, they cannot go around the Sixth Amendment. So whatever the Sixth Amendment says, that's what Trump wants. Every right God gave him. So now, I wish I had my other phone. I can Google what it says. The right to confront his accusers, the whistleblower, Joe Biden, his son, and just everybody. Everybody now. Everybody. James, now he can get into what's his name? Inspector General of the Justice Department, what he was doing, who he talked to, because he can make his case will be that there was conspiracy against him. That's his predicate. That was conspiracy against me. And in other words, when I get through presenting all this here, then I'm gonna summarize it, what this was all about. He's getting show a pattern of how everything that they were doing during his presidential when he was running, and they was investigating him, and how just that is showing how is it that nobody is always is what I'm saying. It's always as they keep getting away. Just now Not when you establish. See, you can even bring them, for example, you can bring with the United States Attorney General or the Justice Department criminal complaint against maybe the City of Houston Police Department, when you can show a pattern of abuses. And so Trump wants to show a pattern. Just repeatedly repeat every damn thing. Everything has been a pattern, and everybody that, although they violated this law, they violated that law, nobody gets indicted, criminally charged on the other side. That's the bias right there. So, and then with Trump pick up the phone. Hey man, look, right now I'm the president of the year. He talked to all the military generals. I'm president of the United States. Yes, you are, Mr. Trump. Okay. My term in office expires at 12 o'clock, such, right? Yeah. Until I have been, and unless the Chief Justice, if in an impeachment inquiry or whatever, as long as I'm the president, I'm the president. Here's what I'm ordering you. This is what you will be ordered to do. So in other words, I'm saying that he would tell them, we're not gonna let them. And see, you got all these generals, so they can't go against each other. So okay, so we're not gonna let these people unlawfully remove me from office because I have no recourse. If they say if I'm removed unlawfully, the next person, Pence becomes the president. Nancy becomes the vice president. Nancy Pelosi. So, no. So, I'm not going to let it get that far. The minute I see any violation of the federal Constitution, we're going to stop it right there. We're going to stop everything right there. We're not going to let them unlawfully violate my rights. Not where I got the military when I. Well, yes, Mr. President, at any time, we'll have attorneys here and scholars and whatever. If they violate any rights, then we'll proceed on the assumption that this is a coup d'état, because all these people, these senators, got us thinking that they're not gonna convict Trump because they already say it's been a sham. So it's like, now my mind worked this way. Okay, they got us thinking that they're gonna be fair. They already know they didn't violate his rights in the house. I heard Lindsey Graham saying it's dead on arrival. I'm just telling now if y'all think watch God. Watch what God do. You damn fool. Try to pull a stunt and watch what God does. God put Trump there. God put Trump there.